One thing I've always liked is the idea of alternate history. We've all heard the common philosophies like what if Hitler won World War II, or what if the United States had never existed? There's a lot of interesting, theoretical questions that can be posed with the idea of alternate history. And in this day and age, there are even games that can explore and take advantage, allowing you to alter the course of history yourself. Now, when I think of these types of games, two of them come to mind originally, at least of the ones that I've played, both developed by Paradox. Those are Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis, but more so the second one. For those of you that don't know, with Europa, you basically take control of a single country, and then you are tasked with expanding, defending your borders, and just overall ensuring the longevity of your country. As you can imagine, this is no easy task, but if you play well and you make decisions at the right time, you can end up with some pretty interesting and even hilarious alternate universes. Some of my favorite from my personal historical campaigns are, well, one, when I decided to play as the Papal State, but with a slight twist. I nicknamed my save file the Papal Empire because instead of being nice and diplomatic and removed from a lot of conflicts, I went full military Papal State. Also, Europa has this fun feature where you can, instead of hiring a military leader like a general, you can select to put your leader on the front lines. That's right. I had, for 300 years, a pope leading my armies until he either died in combat or just died of old age. And as soon as he died, another one was appointed and put right out in the front lines to lead the army. And the funny thing is, some of them were really good. Like, 70 years old, and they had like a 5 out of 5 on some of the stats for leaders. I'm just imagining the Pope out there throwing out his back while he's trying to cleave another knight's head in with his sword. So if you're killed by the Pope, is that a one-way ticket to hell or heaven? Never say I don't ask the important questions. But by the time my campaign was over, I had conquered all of Italy, Venice, I'd taken out most of Austria, and subjugated just about all of Hungary by the time 300 years was over. I was, I think, the second biggest power in continental Europe. My other favorite campaign involves, well, it involved a mod with the game, because normally you can only play, I think, for about, from like, the 1400s to the 1800s, about 400 years or so, depending on where you start. I downloaded a mod that allows you to start from the year 99 to play to the year 9999. So, plenty of options. But I thought it might be interesting to take over as Mexico around the start of the Civil War. Yes, I allied myself with the North, and together we just kind of sandwiched and crushed the Confederacy. Yes, I ran out of tea long ago, sadly. Anyway, Mexico entered the fray with the North. We slowly carved up the South, resulting in myself being Mexico, gaining most of Texas back, as well as cutting a nice swath up the coastline into modern-day Louisiana. But it doesn't end there. Because I had captured that small bit of Louisiana, it turns out I was able to move my capital to that province, and I guess that must have been the capital of the Louisiana Territory at one point or another, because then the option appeared in my menu to be able to change my country's name from Mexico to Louisiana. So, long story short, if you were to look at a globe today from that playthrough, it would say Canada on top, mostly the United States looking intact, and then what should be Mexico, named Louisiana. Interesting how you can mess with the mechanics of Europa to really shape a different future for the world. I'd highly recommend the game for anybody who wants to pick it up and has the money. It's not terribly expensive, and Steam sales are a thing, so. But I really prefer this game to kind of like Civilization. Granted, it's a little bit hard to master, but you really have the chance to kind of play a lot of what-if games with history and like be able to change certain things to your design, which I find really cool and something that just Civilization just doesn't offer. And hey, that's fine. For some, their cup of tea is Civilization. For others, it's Europa. No big deal. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, you can drop a like or maybe hit the subscribe button. would mean the world to me. But no matter what you guys do, I will see you as always next time.